Path Media. I was a minimum wage movie theater usher that made good and became a top earner in my network marketing company. Now, after 16 plus years in the profession, I'm finally teaching myself how to leverage the internet with online marketing and social media marketing to continue to grow and expand my business. My name is Ronnie Cruz, and this is Path of the Network Marketer.
All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Today, we're going to talk more about content. That's right, content. Surprise, right? Big surprise. I am really going to continue to be an advocate that everybody become a content creator, or at least seriously consider it, because it's just where the future is, right? And I'm not going to say where the future is going. I'm going to say where the future is. There's my dogs barking in the background. It's where the future is, right? And so you can really set yourself up for a lot of advantages down the road if you choose to be intentional and purposeful with your content creation, right? Because that can ultimately lead to a growing influence. This is sort of a continuation of an episode from a few days ago where we talked about getting started with your content creation, because there's a lot of barriers at that entry point, right? And most of them are mental barriers, right? How we think about content creation and what that looks like. And so we've gotten through that conversation. And if you haven't listened to it, I'll link it in the show notes and go back and listen to it. It's a great guide to getting started. Today is more of guidelines specifically for the content, and that it's I want you to think of content creation and becoming a content creator is really an evolution, right? It's not something that you come out of the gate as a freaking rock star. You grow into becoming a content creation rock star, and these tips that I'm going to give you today, the guideline that I'm going to give you today, will help you evolve into that rock star that you're meant to be. Another thing that I want you to understand is that this conversation about content creation does not include specifically being an influencer, right? That's a whole entire conversation on its own. This conversation is about using content creation and the internet to build an influence so that you can then build your business, whether that's a coaching business, whether that's a product-based business, whether it's a network marketing business, right? This is very much a specific conversation for that, because with being an influencer, you can pretty much it's just a different conversation. Let's just leave it at that. So today, I want you. I guess that's a first place to start, right? We have, again, coming into this space, we can have a very specific idea or misconception of what an influencer might be, and therefore it leads us to the behaviors of chasing virality, because that's our notion of what an influencer is. Don't worry about that. That's not what we're going after. We're not going after virality, because going after virality is chasing trends, and trends are impossible to catch because they don't last, number one, and there's a new trend happening pretty much every 3 hours. So don't chase trends. You're not in this to chase trends, because otherwise you'll be chasing for the rest of your life. You're in this to create a presence and an influence, and you do that, number one, by being consistent. I know I talk about this a lot, but consistency is king. Consistency is king. By showing up every day on the platforms, the social platforms, or whatever media you decide to engage in online, showing up consistently will help you stand out automatically, right? So it's that consistency and also the longevity. So you have to be consistent for a long period of time, and then you really start to kind of stand out from the rest of the crowd, because there are very few people that, number one, show up every day, and number two, that show up for a long period of time. Just this show alone, we're almost at 150 episodes. Very few podcasts get past 6, right? 6 episodes. We're almost at 150, and we're not even a year old yet, right? My other show, Path of the Jedi, it's coming up on like a year and a half old, and yeah, we're probably somewhere at 60 episodes. I lost count. I'm on a break right now from that show. So that consistency, that's my point. Showing up every day, and especially on the short form platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, those short form, you got to show up every day, multiple times a day if you can, especially on Facebook and TikTok. Show up every day for a long period of time. And it'll feel like a slog at the beginning, but understand it'll eventually become second nature. It'll eventually become habit. So consistency. Number two is your message and your story that you're going to share. Really, really hone in on that and the authenticity behind it, right? Be authentic behind your story and your message, and share yourself, share your journey. Now, this will develop over time. It will change and evolve over time. Understand that. The main thing is just get started. And you may not have, you may identify what you think is you want your message to be right now, but that will change. I guarantee you that will change. Just from the beginning of this podcast on episode 1 back on September 1st, it's a way different message. It's a way different mission. It's a way different story now. And in fact, that story, that message, that mission really just started to take form within the last couple of weeks, right? This whole advocating content creation as one of my big missions. So get specific about your message and your story, and be vulnerable and authentic with it, with also the understanding that will evolve. Because, especially as you dive into and really learn about your specific niche or topic or subject matter, your knowledge base and experience base is going to expand, and therefore your perspective will expand in that, and so that messaging will change over time, right? You'll grow in expertise and expertise and perspective, and so the messaging will evolve. Just understand that, but just be willing to have share your story, share your vulnerability and authenticity in that message, and do that consistently, and you'll start to really make a drop in the bucket. Right, make an impact, make a splash in that huge ocean that is the internet. The last piece is your delivery. Right, improving your delivery, your ability to communicate that message. Again, that comes with time. You're going to evolve and you're going to get better at that. Coming out of the gate, it's going to feel awkward. You're going to feel like this is terrible, and you're going to feel judged. You're going to judge yourself. All of that is going to happen, but you got to do it in spite of that, because you don't come out of the gate, like I said, you don't come out of the gate a rock star, and you don't become a rock star unless you're a roadie first, or you're a stagehand first. You know what I mean? You gotta be willing to be bad at the thing in order to get okay, in order to develop and work on it so that you're mediocre, in order to work on it so that you can get good, and then you can become a rock star. So it's a process that you have to follow, but you have to get started and understand that you'll get better as you go. I started doing Facebook Lives recently. I think I'm on, as of this recording, I'm on day 17 or 18. And I'll tell you, it has helped me with my podcasting. How? Because I record these podcasts in one take. And in the past, before I was doing those Facebook Lives, I used to have to stop and restart the entire recording when I'm doing these podcasts, and it would take me hours. It would take me hours to record just one episode of the show, and the show is like 5 to 10 minutes an episode. But because I kept messing up, and I was I lost confidence, and I wasn't good at it, and I wasn't smooth at it. I just kept second guessing myself and stopping and starting, and the process was completely painful. When I started doing Facebook Lives, you can't stop and start. You just got to roll with it. And so, after, 2.5 weeks of doing Facebook Lives, I've gotten really comfortable with just talking without stopping. Even if I mess up a little bit, I can recover enough that the ideas don't get lost. And really, it's what the big thing that it's allowed me to do is just maintain my focus in delivering my message so that I don't stray too far, which I have a tendency to do. I should probably see somebody about that. I think have ADHD. I don't mean to laugh at that, but I really, my brain goes all over the place. And so doing those Facebook Lives has given me, has allowed me to kind of improve my focus so that I can record these podcast episodes in one take more efficiently. So you get better at your delivery. That's my whole point. But just be willing to suck at it at first, so that you can, with the eventuality that if you do it consistently, not only will your message and your story develop and evolve as you go, but your ability to deliver that story and that message will also improve. So those are my 3 tips. Stay consistent. Develop your message and your story as you go, and make sure that you stay authentic and vulnerable so that it rings true to your audience, and then improve your not vulnerability, excuse me, improve your delivery as you go, and be willing to suck at first, be willing to be bad in order for you to start getting good at it, right, and start mastering the ability to sit here and talk for 10 minutes without looking too crazy. That's just for me. Anyways, I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions about this or any other topic that we've talked about in the past, come join us in our Facebook community. We continue the conversations over there. It's an amazing community that we're really building out. It's starting to grow. It's a place where you can find support on your entrepreneurial journey. So it's facebook.com/group/path of the network marketer. Come join us there, and we can talk more about this topic or any other topic that you've heard or listened to in the past on this show. So that's going to do it for today. More from me tomorrow. So until then, be well, be safe. I'll see you in the next episode.